Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers have practically built themselves.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the 6th anniversary show. I can't believe it's been 6 years since we got this whole ball rolling. My very first shout out today will go to Toyman Television. Dale Angel, who, he obviously didn't mean to, he didn't know me from Adam, but Dale had brought some things to one of our IPMS meetings and showed them off, and somebody had mentioned about his channel, and so I decided to check it out one day. I was playing World of Tanks and getting bored, and I thought, I'll check out this Toyman guy. And it just so happened that he had some very interesting videos about some of the local train tracks, some of the local lines that used to run through Salt Lake City, which Salt Lake City history, big fan of that. And so I got hooked immediately on looking at that. And then he was a Mustang guy. Okay, so got involved in looking at that and did a little bit more and found out a little bit more. And he went to school, high school, with my brother.
If you get a chance, check out his channel, Toyman Television. Okay, so now we're going to look at a portion of my B-24 collection. And at one time, in 48 scale, I had over 30 B-24s. This picture here shows when I moved a bunch of stuff into my doghouse originally. You can see the backdrop that came from the old Douglas Models slot car track. And in fact, the raised portion of the deck that you see here actually came from the Douglas Models big train layout that they had. But you can see some of the B-24s here. So let me go over a few that I have pictures of, because I don't have pictures of all of them. So one of the first B-24s that I did was this B-24J, also known as a PB4Y-1, in these navy colors, the navy three-tone colors. And of course, when I paint these things, I always try to weather them and make them look appropriate. Now this is one that I did for, it's called Night Mission, and this is one that would have been flown by the OSS in dropping agents behind enemy lines in Europe. And they used a few of these. They painted these and B-17s black for that mission. This is a what is it, a C-108? This would be the tanker version, or C-109. Anyway, the tanker version of a B-24. This was flown over the hump on missions in the China, Burma, India theater. Now we're going to move on to my Ploesti, part of my Ploesti collection, starting with Prince Charming. I actually did one called The Witch, but I can't seem to find pictures of her. Now after Prince Charming, you have Snow White. And, well, of course, there's going to be dwarfs, as you know. But these are painted in kind of a pale terracotta. They were, well, that's just how they were described, with this sand color, this desert sand color, that once it got into the sand, into the elements, and started to weather. So here's Doc, again, hand painted. Most of the nose art that I did for these aircraft were hand painted, just as they were on the real McCoy. So here's Doc with some pretty heavy weathering on that pretty pink paint job. Northern Star, this was actually one of the dwarfs on the other side, but Northern Star. And you can see the original artwork for Sleepy. These were very rough, hand painted. And so here's my attempt at trying to make Sleepy and Sneezy. And you can see on the way that I shade some lighter patches, some darker patches, and of course the darker colored soot for some of the weathering. Here's Bashful. He was kind of fun. Look at that face. Oof. That's going to be tough. So here's my version, my rendition of Bashful. Now, I didn't get all the dwarfs done, but I did get a significant number finished. And you can see some of the aircraft are a little more heavily weathered than others. Some of them have, well, we'll go into some of the other parts here in a minute. But you'll notice the propeller blades on these are all needle blade props. These are the correct props for these early models that I resin cast every one of them. Chief Big Dog. This again was a hand painted job. I believe this plane eventually became Hail Columbia, if I remember correctly, for the Ploesti mission. You'll notice the the bay doors on some of these aircraft are a little bit different. They're scratch built. So here's one of the fun ones, Brewery Wagon. The nose art, and then my rendition of the nose art. And this was fun to try and do with a little brush. Plus all of these little nuances that were written all over this aircraft that I tried to replicate, which was a lot of fun. This really was a fun project, this particular. You'll notice some areas are a little bit different than others, and this one had the star over part of it. All right, Flack Alley. This was a decal that came in one of the kits, but you'll notice how it's got the little green splotches along the edges. Again, a lot of fun to paint these. I really enjoyed doing these different paint jobs in the weathering. And Hail Columbia, here's circled where they added some extra machine guns to it, so I had to do the same. You'll notice the gear doors. Those are custom-made gear doors. I tried to make the Tokyo tank inside as well as the gear doors correct for this particular mission. Here's Hell's Wench. You guys have seen me this one before when I did a tribute to Walt Stewart and my version of Hell's Wench. I did a little different nose art. I took some liberties on that, I know. Eurocyclodon, which was also in the lead element of the 93rd bombing Ploesti. And then my friend Walt Stewart in Utah Man with his crew. And my tribute to Walt and his aircraft from the 93rd, who was also in the lead element, the only one in the lead element to drop bombs on Ploesti. So a lot of the tires have been done with the correct diamond pattern. They're resin cast. You can see the needle blade props. They're resin cast. A lot of the noses on these are from Squadron. They're those blown plastic. I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, here is one from the 93rd that was fun to do. Hand paint him. Yeah, there's no decal available. And I think this is the other side of that aircraft with this area that was painted out. Lemon Drop. This was fun. Aircraft from the 44th group. Good look at the top and those green splotches on it. Again, some aircraft are newer from the depot than others, and that's why some have more weathering than others. Some had more battle damage than others. So just kind of every one of these aircrafts is a little bit different. But I tried to get the correct tail numbers, just correct numbers, markings, everything for these Ploesti planes. The Jersey Jackass, that was fun. These are all fun. I enjoyed doing all of these. This came from the kit decals. And then here's probably my favorite. washes tub. And there was a couple of decals that came in the kit, but not all of them. Like the world or the area map there. But everything else had to be hand painted, as you can tell. But we did our best, and I think we turned it out pretty well for for what I had to work with. Here's the other side of Wash's tub. And some of it I had to hand paint, some of it I had a decal for. So, yeah. And that view. And finally, this view one last time. All right, for the last one that we have here from the 44th Bomb Group, it was rumored, and I read this in one of the books, one of the aircraft it said was painted orange. So that's what I did. You see the needle blade props on this one and that funky orange paint that don't know, haven't been able to prove it. Don't know if they ever will, but there you go. So, well, thanks, folks. I hope you've enjoyed looking at my B-24 collection, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for 6 wonderful years.